I'll talk about how to solve the problem 1. The problem is to determine the probability density function of Fy and the accumulative function of big Fy given small fx and big fx. And we know that first we can solve the probability for y equals to 1, 0, and 2 sorry, here should be p y equals to -1, because in the projection from x to y, it equals to 2, 0, and -1 for x larger than 2, x between 0 and 1, and x is less than 0. So we know that these values, y should have a probability to be equal to these three values rather than the probability density. So we can transform, for example, p y equals to -1 to the probability of x greater than 2, and we know it is equal to the probability of y minus px less than and equal to 2. So it is just the y minus big fx2. And similarly, we will get the probability that y equals to 0 and y equals to 2. While in the -1 to 0 interval of y, we will use the formula that fy equals to fx divided by the absolute value of g prime x, and gx here is equal to minus x plus 1 when x is in 1 to 2. So the derivative of gx should be -1, and fxx x equals to y minus y, because y equals to minus x plus 1 here. So we will have the probability density function of fy in -1 to 0 is equals to small fx y minus y. And so that as a representation of probability density function, we will use delta function here in these three cases to show that there is a probability for y equals to these three values, and otherwise the density of fy should be 0. And since we have the small fy, then we will calculate the big fy. The big fy means the probability that y is less than or equal to small y, and we will translate that the big X is larger and equal to y minus y, because in the -1 to 0 interval, big Y is still equals to minus x plus 1. So we will have this probability, and we will transform it into big fx, and we will have y minus big fx y minus y. And for the interval y in 0 to 2, we will have big y equals to big fy0, because we can know that it is shown by here. In the interval from 0 to 2, there is no probability density function. So the integration of small fy should be 0. So from 0 to 2, big Fy should just be equal to big Fy 0. So that we will have it is y minus fx 0. And the problem is almost solved. We know that there is nothing before -1, so when y is less than -1, the accumulative function is 0, and when y is greater than 2, it is always 1. So the plot is shown as follows.